Okay, so Apple has recently had WWDC just the other day, and with the new releases of iOS 26 instead of 19, like I honestly thought, we are going to take a look at it and see what the new glass stuff is like, what the new experience is like, just completely what the new operating system looks like. I also have the perfect phone for this. I have an iPhone 16 here that I'm going to be looking at this on. So, yeah, let's take a look. First thing we got is the new hello screen. This is my personal phone, that's why the background's like that. But you can see the new hello thing. It kind of fits with my background, but like you can see it looks like that. So swiping up, but what I've noticed is that like you could tell that those number things right there, they're very glassy. So let's see. So software update complete. iPhone analytics. So this is already extremely different from what I was just running. And here we also go with the new icons. You can see here the new camera icon, the new mail icon, pretty much all the new icons. You can see the bar there at the bottom. Instead of being like color, it's like clear. Now my folders are also very glassy, and you can see my widgets also have like a 3D effect to them, which honestly this is something I really like, because I'm a big fan of Skeomorphism with iOS 6, and you could probably tell with a lot of my other like downgrade tutorial type videos and stuff like that. Yeah, I like the new changes so far. You can see if you have your icons in dark mode, they look like that. When I go into a folder, it's just like completely glass. And so obviously the icons that aren't updated aren't going to be updated, but it looks like they're trying to add 3D effects to every icon. Okay, so alright, let's go into the settings app, which is always a good app to start with. So the first thing I noticed is that the search is down here, and these things seem a little more rounded and spaced out. Let me go to my general iOS 26.0. This is beta 1, brand new. Let's go into the music app, because I listen to a lot of music. So go in there, see how glassy it is. Now this, to me, is kind of like Android, because look at just how Android this kind of is with like the thing, and you can even see the buttons around it. So if I go and play, okay, it's showing me the album. If I play a song here, and I go to my lock screen player, that's weird. Okay, I guess that's what it's supposed to do, but look, it shows the background art, and it actually fills my lock screen like a background, kind of. You can see here everything's more rounded in here too. Already the 3D glass effects, which is pretty cool. You can see it's down here now instead. And now the other big thing was you're able to actually pin albums. So if I pin Dirt Remastered by Alice in Chains, you can see up here it's pinned. So it's right there for me to click it. And you can see all like the transitions and stuff like that. I think this has got to be my favorite part though. So let me click on an album that I think I know for a fact does not have that. So we'll do this song. You see it still does it, but like kind of like it doesn't fill the screen instead. So you see automatically though, like my lock screen is extremely different. Like that clock number is extremely bigger than it was before. Let's go into the Apple TV app, because that's another app that got updated. So you can see the circular icons down here already. Going to library, you can see, I don't know why the TV shows and movies are like this. It's kind of weird. So I get, like the way it used to be was they used to have portrait posters and stuff. And you can see here for the Big Bang Theory, as an example, it looks like that. But they switched to like these like landscape versions, which are different. But I wonder if that's what they're doing, is they're kind of just switching back to this. See, Moneyball looks like that. So that's interesting. So going into the phone app here, you can see contacts already look very different. You see the keypad. The keypad, besides the call button, pretty much looks the same. My favorites tab, besides like the circular buttons, looks the same. And you can see when I hover over someone's photo, the edit button actually matches the color of the background. You can also see, right there, you can see like the colors of the icons actually kind of like sit in there with the glass. So it's already pretty different. See, these are all clear now, which is pretty cool, I guess. Notifications, the way they drop down is also a lot different. Instead of just like coming straight down, they like expand, if that makes sense. Let's see the fixed up Photos app, which everyone's assuming they did. So, going to collections here, you can see they fixed it with the library as a separate tab and then the collections as a separate tab. They also have wallpaper suggestions, which are like different pictures you have on your phone that could be used as that. Let's go into the App Store. So, App Store also pretty much looks the same besides all the glass effects. The iTunes Store is one app that I know for a fact they probably didn't change, and no, they have not changed anything about the iTunes Store app. Let's see, going into here, it's the same thing. The clock icon was significant. The clock and the camera icons were significantly redesigned because now they actually fill instead of just being small. Let's see what else here. So, we also have the new Games app and the Preview app, which are new to iOS 26. Alright, so going into the Games app, you can see you have 4 tabs down there. You have Home, Apple Arcade, Play Together, and Library. You can see it's got all the games on my phone. You can see it's also combined Game Center in here. You see Game Center top played games and like stuff like that. So like your Game Center achievements you can see here are also mixed into this app. And then it's got all the games that are actually on your device here. And you can see the ones that say View are ones that aren't actually installed on your device. For example, you can see it shows all the games I have purchased. If I click View on one of them, it'll give you a download. It'll ask you if you want to view in the App Store, have all your achievements listed that you've done for that game. It'll also have previews, so like pictures. It'll basically show like an App Store kind of page, along with like Game Center achievements and stuff like that. So the new Preview app is designed for looking at PDFs and stuff like that, because the basic PDF viewer that was originally on here was not that great. See, so going into to my text messages, you can add text background. So using my friend Jaden's text background, you can see if I go to specifically this new backgrounds tab here. So I can add a photo, or I can do one of the default ones, or I can even add something from like image photos. And you can see they're animated too, which is pretty cool. So if I hit the check mark, that, you can see, just like that, scrolling through messages, it looks like this. You can even see down there if you change the background. Okay, so the camera app was also significantly redesigned. So if I turn it around here, see what I'm recording on. You can also switch that to video. You can see I could change my options like HD to 4K and my frame rate. If I go into photo mode and I turn it around, you can see I could do HEIC if I want 24 megapixels or 48 megapixels. You also see the shooter buttons changed. I also have my options here, like I have flash, exposure, and action, which is something that's also new, but which is basically designed to lower like the shake and like basically just make the image all in all more stable. So yeah, it's like significantly redesigned. If I go into the Wallet app, I don't know if there's not really any changes in the Wallet app. But yeah, it's mostly just more clear. You got all the Skeomorphism effects. The podcast app was also redesigned here. But yeah, I think that's about it for my first look at iOS 26. I hope you enjoyed. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Bye.